Thank you. You're very kind. A very special lineup tonight. Pierce Brosnan is with us because the new Bond film is about to be released. Rod Stewart is here singing like you've never heard him sing before. Natalie Cole joins us singing like she always does, which is like one of the best in the business. First, the star who won an Oscar for Best Actress this year. But it was more than that. She was the first black actress to win the award, making her a significant figure in the history of movies. She's James Bond's girlfriend and ally in the latest Bond extravaganza, Die Another Day. She makes an entrance that might bring back a few memories.
Magnificent view.
It is, isn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Halle Berry.
Thank you.
Lovely entrance.
Thank you.
A nod backwards, what, 40 years? To
Yeah.
The first, that was Dr. No, wasn't it? That's
Yeah.
Ursula Andress coming out to see there.
Yeah, a little daunting, I must say.
Was it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it works very well. What about when you're offered the part of playing in the Bond film? Did you have any sort of reservations about it?
No, I really didn't. I was excited about it initially when I got offered the part, which for most of my career, it never really happens that way. I'm used to fighting for a good role. So when I got the call that they were interested in me, I thought, really, wonder what kind of Bond girl I could be. And right away, like 30 pages into the script, I just loved this character. She was a lot of fun and very strong and empowered.
It's interesting, isn't it, how the women have changed over the years. I mean, Pussy Galore and all that, that's no more anymore. They're no longer those token women with those suggestive names. I mean, this one, Jinx, I mean, she's a very tough lady, isn't she? As tough as him.
Yeah, she's as tough as James Bond, and that was, but still, you know, very sensual and in control of her sexuality, knowing every minute of the day how to use her sexuality almost as a weapon. And I thought that was really interesting.
I mean, it's a spectacular, spectacular film. I mean, it's extraordinary, the stunts and things. I mean, how exhausting is it to do?
You know, more exhausting than I could have imagined. I sort of, you know, did a little bit more exercising and a little bit more working out, but not too much more. And once I got there, I really realized that I should have done more. Having to do some of those physical things, you know, for 12 hours in a day can be a little bit exhausting.
And how dangerous is it really?
It's not dangerous. I mean, sometimes, you know, there's a moment when I think, wow, if that went, you know, the slightest bit wrong, something dangerous could have happened, but it never does. The stunt coordinators and everybody are there to make sure that, you know, safety comes first, and it always does.
If I read it right, the most dangerous situation you had there was playing a love scene, wasn't it?
That's right. Pierce saved me. He was a real-life James Bond.
What
Yes,
happened?
he was. We were doing a love scene, and I was on top of him because this new Jinx is very much in control. So she's on top of him. And I pull out a knife, and I'm trying to be way too sexy for my own self, obviously. And I cut a fig, and it gets stuck right here in the middle of my throat. And there was no air going either in or out. And Pierce instinctively just knew what to do, and he jumped up, jumped behind me, hit me in the back. Out came the fig. So essentially,
it's nice to know
saved my life.
He's like that in real life as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to know it's a man thinks fast on his feet.
Absolutely. Can we talk a little bit about the Academy Award that you won? Because I think you were making the film, weren't you, when the Academy Award was on?
Yeah, I actually got nominated while I was here in London working on that.
And you went there and made that speech that's now gone down in the history of. I think, well, no, well, why? I mean, it was what was wonderful about it was that you were so inordinately pleased, but not just for yourself, but because of what it represented. Do you remember anything about that moment at all?
Yes, I remember seeing Russell Crowe. He's my first real memory. And he was looking at me saying, breathe, mate. Breathe, mate. You gotta breathe, mate. And then I remember looking towards the audience and thinking, oh my God, I'm up here. that means I won because I'm up here. And it's funny because the biggest night of my professional life is a blur, and I've talked to other winners and they say, yeah, the same thing.
But you had more reason, of course, to rejoice because, as you said during your speech, that, I mean, it had a greater significance than just you winning it.
Yeah.
You're the first Black American actress to actually win the Best Actress award.
Yeah.
Will that make a difference, do you think? I mean, not to you, but to the general situation.
I think it already has.
Has it?
I mean, it didn't instantaneously. That moment, that night, changed the industry and changed the way people in Hollywood view people of color, especially black people. But what it did do was it inspired people. It inspired their hearts and their minds. And those inspired people who maybe thought about giving up, thought it was a dream or a goal that was insurmountable, now have hope and have faith. And they're fighting harder because it's happened. So now it's almost tangible for them now. And that will transform into a change down the road, and it'll take a couple of years, I think, to really start to see the effects of that night.
But what particularly? See, I look at you now, and I always look at you. You're a beautiful, intelligent woman at the top of a career. I mean, surely you've never had a problem in your life, but you have. So tell us what kind of problems you faced as being a person of color. No, I mean, how did it work against in the industry?
Well, you know, many times, more times than I care to tell you, I have been told, I don't want to see Halle Berry for this role because we don't want to go black. Now, what does that mean, we don't want to go black?
I don't know.
But I hear that over and over and over. Or if we cast a black woman in that role, it'll change the whole dynamic and the meaning of the movie. And those are hard pills to swallow when you've been, you know, sort of chugging along and working at your craft and feeling like, if I only had the opportunity, I bet I could do a good job at that. But being denied, not even a chance to audition, not even a chance to be seen, just because the color of your skin. And that still exists today.
Have you ever, has it been suggested to you that you didn't get a part because you're not black enough?
Oh yeah, and then I've had the reverse as well.
The reverse as well.
Oh yeah, I got fired from a job once because I wasn't black enough, and then ultimately got rehired because they hired someone who was black enough, but she couldn't do the acting job, so then they called me back and decided, okay, I was black enough. I mean, so...
It's extraordinary, this kind of definition within blackness as well, the kind of, if you like, prejudice that exists within that.
It absolutely exists within our own community.
Have you ever wished yourself that perhaps you were more black than you are?
No, I've always been really happy with who I am and
right.
my blackness.
That sounds an impertinent question, but it begged the question when you said what you said.
Yeah, no, because I get it from both ends. Yes. So, you know, I really wish that people would start to see people of color as people and not let our color precede us. Sure, notice it, sure, but I hope the day comes when it doesn't always precede me and I can just be an actress. And
I suppose it's almost impossible, isn't it? I mean, I'm questioning you here about something that I don't know. I mean, I know what it's about. I think I know what happens, but I can't possibly put myself in your shoes, can I? Because I would imagine that it's not so much the overt racism that offends most of all. It's that's subtle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a subtle. You know, somebody once told me I was auditioning for a movie and it was to play a forest ranger. And the subtle way racism works, they actually believed, and this person probably believed this, Halle, you can't play this part because there are no black forest rangers. I mean, and said that with a straight face. And that's the subtlety of racism. And that person really believed that what they were telling me was true. And that what's the problem in what they're saying? Because that person had never seen a black forest ranger, so therefore there was none. Yes. And how do you battle that? You know, I don't even begin to know how do you change the mind of that person? I
don't suppose you ever would, actually, if it's that silly and that ingrained.
You can't. You just have to walk away and go knock on another door where the minds are, you know, more open and they're more willing to sort of change with the times. And
you see, if I were you in a situation like that, I wouldn't be as patient as you are. I'd be a radical. I'd be on the streets. I'd be carrying banners and things. But, I mean, who taught you that patience, that forbearance?
You know, it's called acceptance. It's called acceptance, and it's called living in reality. And I was taught that by my mother, who is white,
She's from Liverpool,
descent.
Isn't she?
Yeah,
tough lady.
Tough lady, and she taught me early on. You know, you don't get into a stink fight with a skunk. It's just not. It's a waste of time.
Yes.
And so instead of spinning my wheels and marching and holding banners and protesting, that would take up valuable time when I could be searching out the people who are about making a difference and who are about moving forward and helping us move forward as a people. My time is better spent with those people than trying to change the minds of people whose minds I'll never change.
She must be very proud of you, actually. Your mum?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I mean, she'd been through it with you, hasn't she?
Every step.
I mean, she was white, and you were living in a white neighbourhood, first of all.
Yeah.
Then a black neighbourhood.
Yeah.
So you got
very confused.
from
Yeah.
from both ends.
Yeah. And she's, she's really strong, and she's, raised 2 little black kids in the 60s all by herself, and so she took a lot of the heat as well, being our mother. When we got the racial slurs thrown towards us, she got them as well. So she's pretty tough.
So what, I mean, obviously again, on a different level now, the Academy Award, that means you're more bankable, that means that more people want you. Have you discovered that already? I mean, is it making a significant difference to your career in the acting area?
Sure, I think it has. For the first time in my career, I've had like 3 or 4 projects in development. I've never had that happen in my career. But I think when anybody wins an Academy Award, sure, you get a bit more respect from your peers and from the industry, but it's such a competitive industry. You still have to, be very aggressive and, have your eye on the ball and be, very sort of, relentless in your approach. I think the big myth is that you win an Academy Award and then, the script bus comes by your house and drops off all these great scripts, and it just doesn't happen that way.
Have your looks ever been a hindrance to your? I mean, have you been thought of as too pretty, too much what we call totty?
Too totty?
Too totty. You can't be too totty. You can have too much totty.
I think I've been a little too totty for people at times. Yeah.
Have you?
I think so, and I think those are the times, even like for Monsters Ball, I think the producer and the director thought I was too totty. So I had to prove that, I was more than the shell.
I hadn't seen that film because I don't know what kind. I might have been out of the country when it was first released, but I got it out actually, and I've got to say, you're bloody marvellous in it actually.
Oh,
No, but you are. I mean, it's a very moving film. It's a very thought-provoking movie too, and it really you well deserved your Academy Award for that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I wish I was Billy Bob Thornton.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, so now you're around promoting the Bond thing. Would you like to do another? Oh, the one thing that I did read was that maybe Jinx, this character that you created in the Bond film, maybe there's shelf life in her in the sense that there might be a film about her. Is that true?
I don't really know where this started, really, or where it came from, but I love Jinx, and if there's an opportunity to continue to play Jinx in some form or fashion, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Okay.
I loved her.
All right. Well, for the moment, Halle Berry, thank you very much indeed. Halle Berry.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think we like you, actually. Next week sees the release of the 20th Bond movie, Die Another Day. It's estimated that more than 2 billion people have seen the Bond movie. That's almost half the entire population of the world. It's also estimated that half the world want to be him, and the other half want to bed him. This time, our hero finds himself up against it in North Korea. Stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, Pierce Brosnan. All right. Very well. Excellent.
Thank you very much.
I understand your son was on set when you shot that sequence there.
Yeah, Dylan came down to the set, and he was only 5. He loves cars. So on that particular day, he came down to see Dad, and Dad was being chased by 600 Koreans. There was 6 cameras, and there's this long run that I have to do, about 200-yard dash, and so we did it. I ran like the Clappers, gave my best James Bond impersonation, got to the very end, and there was my young boy, Dylan, and I said, "What do you think of that?" And he said, "The car's all right?" I said, "Yeah, the car's all right." And I said, "It was great, wasn't it?" And he said, "Can we go see the cars?" I said, sure. So,
No, he's not going to be starstruck, is he, with an attitude like that?
no, not really, not really. He's a grand boy.
What about this Bond? It's he doesn't go any older, of course. I mean, he's not done so for 40 years. He's got the secret of eternal life. But he's changed, hasn't he?
I don't know. People always ask me the question, how has it lasted so long? I mean, it's great entertainment value. It's the sex, it's the gadgets, it's the locations, it's Monty Norman's music.
The sex is fairly innocuous, isn't it, really?
It's fairly tame, yes.
Yeah.
But you should see the outtakes.
Oh.
Not yours. No.
No, but I mean, there will come a time, I suppose, when the sex actually will get more explicit in the Bond films. I mean, the rating at present is what determines it, isn't it?
Yeah, there is that rating.
Yeah.
And, you know, the man's a killer. He's an assassin. So what he does is fairly kind of lethal and stuff like this. But, you know, the die was cast way back there with Sean Connery, and they injected the humor. And so that must be there, constant.
He's a strange man, isn't he? I mean, he's a guy who goes around and all he sleeps with any woman he wants, and he shoots with whoever he wants, and in the end, I don't know what's left. He's a kind of outsider, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's on the extreme.
I always see him as a loner, and Fleming
yes,
really didn't put much down on paper about who this man was. There's a kind of thumbnail sketch there, and if anybody really wants to find out, you go to Casino Royale. That's kind of the blueprint for the character. So, you know, in playing him, it's a bit tricky and terrifying, you know, the first time round doing GoldenEye, because you have Sean, who cast a very large shadow over the piece. Roger stood there for 7 movies. So it's how you make him your own. It takes time to be Bond.
All right, well, let's have a look at a scene from Die Another Day, which features you and Halle, and it's the old cliffhanger situation, or damsel in distress, and Bond comes to the rescue. There's a clip coming up now.
Jinx?
Oh, James! No, turn it off!
Every man's fantasy to be James Bond, isn't it? Are you going to be James Bond?
Oh, I'd love to have a go at it.
Would you?
Love to, yeah. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Excitement.
Absolutely.
How's your knee?
The knee's okay, actually, yeah.
You did your knee pop your knee, didn't you?
I did on that sequence that you showed at the top there, that run. I did the meniscus, which is a little kind of pad in between your bones. So that was a bit kind of distressing, to say the least. Especially, the film is so physical and you have 6 months ahead of you. But I went back to Los Angeles. And I did it and didn't knock a feather out of me.
And how did you make out with Halle here? I mean, as a co-star, did you enjoy it?
Had the time of my life.
Did you? Did you really?
Became good friends. Got great respect for this woman. And
Ditto.
so it was, we just hit the ground running, the two of us.
Have you ever worked with a star you didn't like?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm not going to say it here, am I? No, well, no. No, you can't say things like that. It's just not my
I
style.
won't ask for the name, but you have, obviously.
Well, you've worked with ones who are a bit kind of truculent, and you just have to have patience, and you kind of get on with the job.
That's what you do you? But
Ultimately, yes. But no, I haven't really. I haven't worked with many drama queens.
I didn't ask about drama queens, I asked about women you didn't like. But, well, it's quickly moving on then. All
Go
right.
ahead, move on.
The other thing is about, if you do Bond, of course, is that the problem might be that you're forever locked into that role in the public perception. So that's a problem.
Well, that is the problem, and that's something when you sign on the dotted line, you think if you go in to be a success in the film, you want it to be the best ever, you have to respect the part, and if you do pull it off, then you are going to live with this role for the rest of your life. So it's what you do in between, and I've always tried to manage to pick parts which are different, and you know, I created my own company, Irish Dreamtime, so I could make my own films like Thomas Crown.
Well, I saw a film that you made through your production company in Ireland called Evelyn, which is a remarkable little. I mean, it's a total contrast to this huge multi-million-dollar epic, the Bond film. It's a small budget, low-key film, and based on a true story. Tell us about the story. Tell us what the story is, because it's interesting. It echoes your own life in many ways.
Well, Evelyn came across my desk about 6 years ago, and it's a true story based on a man called Desmond Doyle, set in Dublin in 1953. And in those dark days of the 50s in Ireland, you know, if you were a kind of single parent, church and state could come in and take your kids. And they did this to Desmond Doyle, but this man fought tooth and nail to get them back, and his case went to the Supreme Court. So, the film had lots of emblems of my own life there, you know, because I came from a fractured home, and being Irish, taught by the Christian Brothers, and it just touched my heart. I thought it was, and the great thing about it too was that it had humor. And so we made the picture at the end of last year, right before the Bond movie, and it's coming out in the spring.
Yes, as you said, it has lots of echoes in your life. Which was the loudest echo for you of your childhood that the film gave you?
Oh, I suppose there's that sense of abandonment in life. You know, my old man Tom, he ran out to the hills when I was an infant, and my mother took great courage and strength in bringing me up, and then came to England to be a nurse. And so I moved around a lot, you know, as a boy. And so there's that sense of fathering, being fatherless, but I have a great father, a great man.
That's your stepfather?
My stepfather. Bill Carmichael, and I came here in '64, and there was this wonderful man, and he's been constant throughout. So I made the film for my own kind of loss and sentiment of that. But, you know, it's a David and Goliath story.
Oh, it's a wonderful story. It's a very uplifting story. Did you ever meet your dad again?
I met him when I was about 33, and I was doing Remington Steel in Ireland, and there was a knock on the door. Well, I knew he was going to be the other side of the door. He kind of came out of the woodwork and wanted to see me. And we sat, we had a cup of tea, went downstairs and met first cousins whom I didn't know, and had a few pints of Guinness, and then that was it. We didn't see each other again.
And that's it. Close the end of story.
He died about 2 years later, and I left it too late. And there was a regret there that I didn't kind of... Yes, of course there is, because there's a part of one's heart you think, where do I come from? There's that sense of self which you know from your parent, from my mother. But, you know, there's this part of my character which I think, where does that come from? Obviously it comes from Tom Brosnan.
Halle, you had a similar thing, didn't you, with your father?
Yeah, my father left when I was 4.
Yeah.
And he came back for 1 year when I was 10.
Yeah.
And just wreaked havoc, my family and my life. And I haven't seen him since.
You haven't? Has he ever tried to contact you? Because you're famous now? Because you're...
No.
No, never. But that's closed. I suppose it's always unfinished business, isn't it? It must be. It's got to be unfinished business, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this man was a stranger. I opened the door, and there he was, this Kerry man. He said, "Oh, Jez, you're a good-looking fella. You're a good-looking fella." I said, "Thanks, Tom. Sit down. Have a cup of tea." But yeah, sure, there's always regrets, but you get over those. You have to pick yourself up and move on.
Yes. Well, it's a lovely film, Evelyn, actually, and in it you sing.
I do.
You didn't realise this man was a singer, did you?
Oh, God, well, I do. I had a crack at it, and...
It's good. It works nicely. You sing the old Irish folk songs, and it's lovely.
Well, he had to sing in the pubs, you know, earn
To
some
supplement
money.
his, he's a plasterer, isn't he? And so because he wants money to afford this very expensive legal team that he has to take on the Irish High Court, he goes and sings in a pub with his dad, who's a fiddle player.
Bruce Beresford, who directed, I was very worried about it, and Bruce said, listen, you just have to be mildly attractive at the singing. So I gave it best effort and sang.
Would you care to just give us a demonstration now?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and you knew this was coming.
This is a song, it's called The Parting Glass. And I'm not sure if I can remember all the words, but I'll have a crack at it. Let me see.
Is this the song that you sing at the...
I think this is the song I sing when Dad dies.
When Dad, at the end, yeah, to the barmaid you sing. It's a lovely song. Yeah.
Oh, of all the money that ever I earned, I spent it in good company. And all the harm that ever I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass, good night and joy be with you all.
That was lovely.
Thank you very much.
That was great.
Yeah.
I'll play it here.
That was wonderful.
I've got this pub.
Yeah, I won't be there. No, let Rod do it. I won't. You're in there, Rod.
Yeah, you're right. That's lovely. So when's the film coming out? I tell you, when I watched it, I mean, I got the feeling of a wonderful Christmas film, because it's got that lovely sort of, it's a wonderful life feel to it, you know, that sort of thing.
Oh, thank you for saying. I mean, A Wonderful Life is a classic film, but it's the film starts at Christmas and it ends at Christmas, and but it's, you know, the film is about love. The film is about hope and faith and the courage it takes. It's going to be out in the spring, the early spring of next year. Comes out in America at the end of this year, December.
Now, back to the Bond. You've done what? This is your fourth Bond. The record is Roger's 7, isn't it? And Sean 6. Do you reckon you might beat the record?
Oh, I don't think so, Michael. I
You
don't think so. No. I mean, you know, I'm very happy with this film. I think it's a great film. It's an outstanding cast with Halle and Toby Stephens and Rosamund Pike. And they've asked me back for a 5th, and I've said yes, so I don't know when that's going to be. But we'll see where the wind takes us. I don't know. 6 would be maybe nice. 7, I don't know. Who knows what the future brings?
Yeah. Well, you're looking good, and you could go on forever, for God's sake. I mean,
No,
it's...
well, thank you for saying so.
all right. But, well, I wish you success with the movie. I mean, that's the last thing you need with this movie, because it'll take off like they all have. But it's been good talking to you. Pierce Brosnan. That was very good singing.